Hi, I'm Jackson, and this is,
I'm Jake Shimobukuro.
and you're watching Eclectic Arts Media.
Hearing the band come together and our three voices blending, I really enjoyed recording that one.
Do some demos at home.
Yeah, because teamwork makes the dream work.
Right. They may be super confused, like, what is this woman talking about? Fair enough.
Hi, I'm Shannon Lee, and you're watching Eclectic Arts Media.
Life's not fair, and I need to keep as much hair as possible because, particularly in Hindley Street, no one's got hair. You'd fit right in, Mark. So
eat French fries a lot and stuff. You can still eat that here, but still.
I haven't gotten to do a dual role like that before, where you're doing two totally different things.
Shove with love.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts Media, based here in Seattle, Washington. And thank you so much for joining me this Thursday, the 16th of April, 2026. And my apologies for anyone that tried to join me at noon today for the Halcon Negro live stream. There was technical issues on actually both sides that hopefully have been resolved. It seems like everything's working the way it was before. And he is scheduled to return tomorrow at noon Pacific on Friday. And hopefully we can actually connect and talk about his wrestling matches that he has coming up and everything else under the sun. I would like to thank Brittany Beverly for joining me yesterday from Taproot Theater Company. It was really great getting a chance to talk with her. And we didn't even scratch the surface. I didn't even get a chance to ask about her background or anything else. We kind of got off on some tangents about things that are going on in the world and society and the world of theater. So I'm looking forward to having her back at some point later this year, as well as Karen Lend, also from Taproot Theater Company. Speaking of which, coming up, as I already mentioned, Halcon Negro is scheduled to join me tomorrow at noon Pacific. He is a luchador, so lucha libre, jumping off the high rope, all that type of thing. He's been a great guest in the past, so I'm looking forward to catching up with him. And then also tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, Mandy Rose is scheduled to join me, and this will be my first time interviewing Mandy, so I'm really looking forward to that. We've already kind of connected through social media a bit. And I would like to thank the Milwaukee Film Festival. This is day one, so all the people over in Milwaukee, they're enjoying the film festival in person. I'm going to be enjoying it virtually, and I've got a ton of films that I'm looking forward to looking through and getting to. And I also have some other live streams that are really close to getting confirmed for next week. There's probably at least 4 that are kind of in the mix. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you want to know once those are actually confirmed, please follow me as Eclectic Arts Media, one word, on Instagram. That's where I post everything first. And then some of that information migrates over to other social media platforms. If this is your first time joining me on my YouTube channel, if you could do me a huge favor, please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That helps with that algorithm and kind of gets me moving where I want to go. And if you're on the Twitch side of things, if you could follow me over there, I actually have a suspicion that the issue with the noon live stream not working was actually related to Twitch. But I'll talk about that tomorrow, provided that everything works. And if you really want to support the channel, there's a PayPal, me, and a Venmo link in every description of every live stream I do. That's only if you're in a position to do so. But this streaming service costs me money every month, and anything else that I do with Eclectic Arts Media, those donations go right back into just trying to do bigger and better things. And so if you're watching this at any time, or if you're watching one of my live streams down the road, when we're live, of course, if you'd like to ask my guests a question, all you have to do is join the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel, and then you'll just see like a live chat box, and you can put your question in there. Please be aware that I will fold those questions in as the conversation goes. So if my guest is in the middle of a thought and telling a story or something, then I'm going to wait until I fold your question in. And sometimes I've had people join late when a question's already been asked earlier. So I usually mention that live. So, hey, we've already answered that. So please go back and check things out once the live stream is done. Okay, my guest today is a fan favorite in the world of adult entertainment. She started off her career as a fan site creator. She then included mainstream work with such notable studios as Bang, Team Skeet, Private, Girls Way, and ATK Girlfriends, among many others. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts Media virtual studio, Miss MCKENZIE MAE.
Hello, guys. Thank you so much for having me, Mark.
Yeah, thank you for joining me, MCKENZIE. How are you?
Of course. I'm doing amazing. I'm actually out in sunny Florida right now doing some more scenes for the fans, so it's really good.
Awesome. So yeah, we're definitely going to be, this is actually a really great thing to probably start our conversation with. For people that are you doing content creation? Are you working with mainstream studios in Florida?
So right now I'm working with mainstream studios is the main purpose of this Tampa trip. Nookies is the big one that I'm doing a few scenes for right now. So that's more of like a Miami, Florida based company.
Okay, so for people that aren't aware how this works when if you're doing scenes with a mainstream studio, do you work things through an agent? Do they go strictly through you to book your work and everything?
So I've seen girls do both ways. Personally, on my end, I do have a mainstream agent. So they usually will contact them, negotiate my rates, stuff like that, and then go based on my schedule to schedule me out. Ultimately, he does obviously contact me and confirm everything, but it's just nice to be able to give someone pretty much my calendar so that they can organize that for me and keep everything in check.
Okay, and I'm assuming that like when you first started in the industry, or let's say when you first got your mainstream agent, that you sat down about like what you were okay with doing, what you're not okay with doing.
100% limits, the scenes that I do like, the scenes that I don't like, boundaries is a huge thing, all of that stuff. He just wanted to know how far into this did I really want to go. And that can always change at any point in your career. If you maybe do something and you're like, you know what, I don't really like that. Awesome. Let them know and you'll never do it ever again. So it's really nice that it's flexible in that way with work.
Yeah, and I've had the pleasure of interviewing several folks that are in the adult entertainment world, and they've kind of basically told me the same thing, that some of them kind of dip their toe in, and other ones just kind of jump into the deep end.
100%. Everyone's different. Some people just want to do a little bit, and that's okay. And some people want to go full on intense, and that's also good.
Yeah, it's been interesting doing research for these interviews.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure there's lots of interesting content out there and research and all the fun stuff for all of us.
Yeah, I keep thinking that, I think I've seen pretty much everything. And every now and then I come across somebody else. I'm like, I don't think I've seen that kind of work before.
Exactly. I get the same thing. Or like the same thing of fans. Can you do this? It's like, let me do some research into that. But yeah, I can potentially do that. It's like, let me figure that out. But yeah, that's a new one. That's a new one.
Yeah, this was so Eclectic Arts started as a fanzine, a hard copy like magazine thing way back in 2011, and I had done an interview with an adult star back then, and she was based out of Cleveland, and she was telling me that the one thing she didn't like was the electricity genre, and I'm like, what is that?
Oh,
and yeah, and then I looked into it, and I'm like, oh geez.
Yes, the electroplate. Yeah, insane. Which I personally actually do like that to an extent, but some of them do get really crazy. Like they have like Fetish Con over here in Florida. I think they have that in St. Pete now, and that's where I got to experience it for the first time. And kind of the smaller beginner stuff is really cool, but man, once they kind of bring out like those larger I don't know if they're like conductors or inductors or what you would want to call it in the electricity sense, but yeah, it can get kind of painful. You have to have a high pain tolerance for that one.
Yeah, exactly. And this particular gal, I think she thought she did have a high threshold for it, and she found out she doesn't.
Yeah, no, that sounds very like my wax explorer story. Like I was exploring like the little wax melts and stuff like that, and I was actually filming my own video for it. And the second it dropped on me, nope, we're done with the video. I was like, nope, this video can't go on my page. I can't handle it. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, I had to cross that one off the list for me. But no, I totally understand.
Little trial and error.
Exactly. It's like, oh, can we push this boundary? It's like, oh no, that's actually kind of painful. Props to anyone that can do it.
Yeah, it's different things for different performers.
100%. Well, we all can't sell the same thing anyways, so that's always really nice.
That's true. That's very true. And kind of that's kind of a good segue. That correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that you started with content creation with fan sites content first. Is that correct?
Yes, 100%. I started with OnlyFans and doing stuff like that, kind of creeped into many vids. And then to boost those pages even more and to reach a larger audience, I noticed some of my friends were doing mainstream work. So I just kind of snuck my way into that side too. I just ended up finding an agent's info through someone that I collabed with on my page. She recommended him to me, and I had a little phone call. And literally a week later, I was going out for my first shoots.
Wow. Okay.
No, it's very fast moving.
Yeah, I guess especially if you find like in this case somebody knew an agent that got you
100%.
connected. Okay. And so if we go back with your content creation, what prompted you to start doing that work?
Kind of the way that actually got started here in Florida when I was based out of here in Tampa, and I was going out to a club for my birthday, just your basic music club, nothing crazy. And I met this girl named Cheerleader Kate there. I don't know if any of you guys know her. She's one of my greatest friends. She actually introduced me to what OnlyFans was, kind of showed me the back ends of it, and I call her like my momager. Like she literally just like kind of like took me under her wing and showed me the ropes of OnlyFans, and it's just been history ever since. I mean, I've just kind of been like following behind her in her footsteps with that and just watching what she does, learning, putting that into my own practice, and she's just amazing.
Okay, so was this something that for yourself, like in your head or just in your personal life, you thought at some point I want to create my own fan site and kind of do what other girls are doing?
I never had that thought before that night. I wasn't even thinking about OnlyFans. I actually was already self-employed. I've always been self-employed. I opened my own business right off the bat. So I had the spare time to kind of put in that extra little side gig. Really, to start off with, it was just a way to make a few extra bucks for bills. I was like, it sounds fun. I can meet up with these fun girls. I can take cute little pictures and post them online. Why not? I'll just do it on the side. So I did the solo stuff and the girl stuff for a while. And I was actually faceless, I would say, for just under a year, where I was just still not fully convinced if I was going to stay with it or not. I just didn't know. I didn't know how committed to this career I was going to be yet. And then finally, after a handful of months, I saw my friend Kate do her face reveal with Riley Reid, and seeing how that blew up her page even more, that motivated me to do the same and take that next big leap into my career and doing the face reveal, ultimately opening up to boy girl content and offering that to my fans. And then mainstream was the last big final stretch.
Okay, so it sounds like, and maybe this came from some of the people that had already been doing it, that you definitely learned the proper way to build yourself up and don't give it all away out at the front, basically.
I can't stress that enough. You literally just took the words out of my mouth. The way it's so hard to see new girls go all out. And I love how passionate you girls are. And I love that you want to do all this crazy and stuff. And it's so good. But if you milk the content a little longer and, I'm just going to do this for a few months and I'm going to do this, you can just make more off of it. Because then now when you get to this crazier stuff, you can put a higher premium price on it because you haven't done this crazier stuff before. You will have more first times because you're spacing out that time in between and slowly working up and teasing your fans for it.
Exactly.
No, exactly.
There's some folks that I've interviewed that when they got into the adult side, and then sometimes they didn't do fan sites, they just went straight into mainstream studio work.
I see it all the time.
Yeah, and it's like, someone didn't give them some good advice about, you need to tease a bit, you need to hold back and kind of slowly basically
Exactly.
unveil what kind of things you want to eventually be doing, not just here we go, we're going to do it all.
Exactly. Because then what are you going to have new to show them next year? I mean, you got to be able to top yourself somehow. You have to be able to bring something new to the table somehow so the fans get old. I mean, the longer you spread it out, the easier it is for you. You can go ahead and jump all in, but it's just going to make it harder for you in the long run.
Yeah, and I'm sure you know this from being a creator yourself, that the fans want more and more
Always.
and more.
Always. We always want more. It's no different than you get to the last episode of your favorite TV show and you don't like this ending because you didn't get this resolved or da 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 da. We're just human. We always want more. It's who we are in nature.
That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that when it comes
No,
to.
seriously, when you compare it to other things, it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Like at the end of the day, my stuff is being sold for entertainment. So, yeah, if they really like what they see that much, I'm glad you guys want more. I'm glad.
That's true, but that you've hooked them in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, because I guess if they didn't want more, then you didn't do something right, because then
No,
they're going to the
exactly.
next
They
person
wouldn't be
over here.
pestering you for more. I love the pesters and I'm a chatty Cathy too. So like I'll sit there and just talk to my fans all day. Like it'll be bad. It's bad.
Well, I know, and so I'm really old, so I remember like back in like the 80s and then moving into the 90s when the internet came
Yep.
along, it was strictly like single girl pay sites, so like
Yes.
$14.95 a month, $19.95 a month, and the it seemed like with some of those girls, it was really about trying to build this kind of interesting, like dreamy relationship with their fan base.
Some sort of fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how they would kind of build onto that to kind of keep them hanging on, basically.
Right.
And if the fan didn't feel like they were like, I don't know, kind of a weird way, like if they didn't know this person that they're paying money to, they'd go to the next person.
Right. Of course.
And at the same time, they also kind of had to watch that too, because then some people, the fantasy, they can't decipher that between reality. It's like, hey, stop.
And even now, that is kind of the dangerous side of the industry. And it is remembering, hey, we are online. I can be your internet girlfriend, but I can't. There's only one of Mackenzie. There's only one Mackenzie. I can't be everywhere at once, unfortunately. I would love to be, but I can't. Unfortunately, I just have to share myself online with you guys and pretend I'm there with you.
Yeah, well, and it's kind of a good segue into have you been doing like Exotica and the fan
Yes.
cons? Okay, what's
Yes,
that?
I unfortunately had to miss this last one because I caught the dang flu. We're good now. But yes, I caught it right before it. But yes, usually I do Exotica Chicago, New Jersey. I will be at Minneapolis in a couple months. Fingers crossed we don't get sick. Terrible time of year for that. So I will be there in June. I'll be at XBiz Miami, but that's more of a creator event. But yes, I do AVN and X3 every year. I really do love my fan signing events because I can meet my fans in person, take pictures. It's cool to see them like come back with pictures from last year, and it's I saw you last year. See, da, 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 da. It's thank you for coming back. It's great.
That's very cool. I haven't had a chance to be at any adult conventions, but from like pop culture side of things, I've definitely been at those
Right.
kind of conventions, and I know the whole thing of like if you try to go get the autograph from that given person on the first day, like say on Friday, and if you're going to be back Saturday, Sunday, then you can bring that picture back and have them sign it, and then you have the whole thing. And
100%.
yeah, I'm one of those people.
Nope, for sure. I love those people. Or I will have fans that will like print off their own pictures of me from their favorite scenes because I don't really sell scene prints. So like I usually just have like my solo pictures for sale. So they'll be like, "This is my favorite scene. Can you sign it?" It's like, "Oh, I would love to." Or like I'll do like t-shirts and stuff like that too. Like I see a lot of people, they'll bring in like they'll get like an Exotica t-shirt for whatever year it is, and then they'll have a bunch of people sign it. So that's kind of their memorabilia for the rest of the time. So there's kind of like a whole variety of things that fans do for the merchandise.
Okay, well, it sounds like you have, and maybe it's because, like you said, that you've always been self-employed. You had your own business that you
Right,
have.
right. I come from a very business orientated family. I was raised on a dairy farm in the Midwest. So we always were doing the business stuff, and things got done like our way, you know what I mean? You always went and did it yourself. So you just kind of learned as you went. So I just kind of take that along with any other future endeavors that I do.
Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting from you talking to you right now. That's a great thing to have.
No,
I wish more folks that I interviewed, not just with adults, but any line of work, I wish they were a little bit more business minded about what they do.
you gotta
Um,
be. You gotta be
yeah,
to have longevity in any career. You gotta have that business mindset.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some of those folks kind of find out about it the hard way when they're not when they're not thinking that way. It's like, hey, and sometimes it could be even be just talking to me and giving them suggestions about, oh, so you're doing this, this, and this. Have you thought about these other things, or maybe you want to hold off on that before you again spill it all out there, and then
Right.
you got nothing left, and you're trying to recreate something from nothing. It's like, okay, maybe the fans haven't seen this before, so now I'm going to
No.
bring this, and when I go to this convention, I'm going to bring this over there. And some of them, they're like, I don't even know like where to start with that stuff, Mark. And I'm like,
Mhm.
hopefully you got to talk to other people that do it. Watch what they're doing. Anything.
Yes, anything. Talk to some girls, get in the girl group chats, collab with other. I mean, that's the biggest thing you can do is just learn from others. Just throw yourself out there and just soak it all up. A lot of these exoticas also have panels where you can go and learn from other creators and stuff like that and just get like tech advice or different pay site advice. They just have like a whole range of panels that you can go to. So even just going to stuff like that, even if you're not maybe doing autographs or anything, just attending is always really beneficial.
Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right, and information is always good. So then you can decipher it for yourself what you want to use and what you don't want to use. And as we kind of go back to, like you said, you're working with some mainstream studios there in Florida, um, and you've been doing mainstream work maybe about 2 years. Is that right?
We're going up on 2 years right now. It'll be 2 years in August.
Okay, so yeah, you're getting close.
We're getting
Uh,
close.
what do you remember about like the first scenes you did for mainstream studios versus how you are now? I mean, what's how things morphed and changed for you?
I would say I've gotten in just like more of a routine. I just know what to expect. I would say the biggest thing is kind of like, and it sounds so random because the fans don't think about this when shooting porn. We shoot this thing called Pretty Girls, is what we call it. And what that is usually the female talent is having her own photo shoot, just advertising so that they can get safe for work and non-safe for work pictures of the scene, just so that they can pair up a photo set with the scene. And during those, my first time, I just stood in front of the camera and it was like, oh, I've never been in front of a photographer before. It's just me and my tripod usually. And I'm just kind of like clicking a timer and doing my own thing. So I'm in front of this photographer and it's, how do you want me to pose? Like, what do I do? Versus now I get in front of a camera and you have your go-tos, you know, your angles, you know, what poses look good for your body. You get ideas as you like talk to different photographers, and every shoot that I go to, I learn something new and carry that through on to the next. So I would say almost the photo taking process I've gotten better at. When it came to the video process and like kind of like my attitude on camera, I would say I've gotten more comfortable, but honestly, I've always been very comfortable in front of the camera. I would say a better comparison would be my first video that I like, my first solo video I ever posted on my paid sites versus like my first video in like mainstream porn. I think those are very two good ones to compare because I look back at those. I'm faceless. I don't even have it like showing like the first top. It's completely cropped. I'm barely making any noise in this video. I'm scared to talk. I don't know what dirty talking is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand all of this. Well, by the time I was already in the industry for over a year, then making my own content and hearing from other girls and hearing the way that they talk, specifically Kate, specifically the girl that got me into, and hearing her, you just pick up cues. And that's exactly what I did. And ever since then, I mean, mainstream, I've always just been very eccentric. I'm just out there for the camera, very open. I'm not shy. I'm not shy. So that's not a learning curve that I had to go with mainstream, thankfully. That's something I was able to work through with my own content creation.
Okay, that makes perfect sense, and it kind of begs the question: how do you think it would have been if had you not done your own fan site work, and if you just went from nothing to doing a first scene with the studio?
Oh my gosh, it would have been, I'm telling y'all, it would have been such a bad scene. It would have, there's no way. I don't even know if the scene would have made it out because it's like you walk into this room and they have a lot of cameras. Like, I mean, they have like cameras getting every angle. They don't want to miss anything. Like, they really just want to like one shot it usually for like at least the first time companies that I went with. You just really don't know what's going on. You're meeting someone, you're having sex with someone the first time you meet them. That's not traditionally what happens. So when you go on set and you have you're naked in front of people that don't know you technically. Oh my gosh, this is like crazy. This is gonna go out on the internet. I mean, you can't prepare yourself for that without your own content creation. There's no way. I think about these girls that freshly turn 18 and go into porn, and it's like, man, that must have been so scary. Just so scary and so intimidating just because you don't know what to expect. And there's so much pressure on you. And especially from a male talent standpoint, with females, we might get nervous and we might have like a hard time performing. Well, we can just use external things to help us out with that. A guy, if he has a hard time performing for the first time in front of the camera, or he's getting nervous or all this other stuff, that whole video might not happen. That whole scene might get canceled because there's not much they can do about that. So, I mean, it is a very high pressure environment when you go on set for the first time. And that is ultimately the deciding factor, is your first scene, if you're going to continue in the industry or not, is how you felt after your first scene and if you could handle the pressure of the cameras, is ultimately what I think.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your insight. I know one of the guests I've had on multiple times is an AV Hall of Famer, and she talked about her very very first scene. So there wasn't fan sites back then.
Okay.
She left the set. She said I can't do this.
Interesting.
She took off, and then eventually, I don't know if she got coaxed into it or what happened, but she went back.
I do hear that a lot. I do hear people leaving and coming back.
Yeah, it was too overwhelming for her. And then she ended up, being in the industry for years. So,
Right. She ended up breaking through that wall of comfortability for sure. But not all of us can do it. It's tough. It's tough for sure to put your full self out there. You can be very vulnerable.
Yeah, everything you described about that whole, if it was you, going from nothing to that, like, it would just be way too much. And then
100%. It's a massive step. It's 0 to 100 right there.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, if you're a male talent and and you bomb on set, it may be something that just doesn't get fixed.
Exactly. Yeah, if you bomb on set as a male, unfortunately, in this industry, we're pretty tough on that. We're pretty tough on that. We can be a little more forgiving for females, but males, yeah, they're tough. They're tough.
I remember seeing this was a clip, I think even from, may have been back in the 90s. And yeah, it's like a behind the scenes thing. And you hear the director saying, wood on set.
Yep. I swear. It's like, oh my gosh. No, we will have it on set where it's like, okay, let's take the sex stills, right? So obviously he needs to be ready for that. We're taking all the stills. Okay, you can go sit on the couch now. We're gonna do 30 minutes of pretty girl photos and we're gonna run through her dialogue. What? It's like, oh my gosh. So they have to just go chill and hang out and wait till they're called in again. And it's like, dang. You really have to be on call. Like that's insane. And have your body ready.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being a male in the industry.
See, and those are the things that I think it's more commonly known now just because there is so much content and behind the scenes stuff out there. But back in the day when it's a little bit more secretive, people, especially if you're a guy, you're thinking, oh, that must be like the best job in the world. And it's like
100%. You think it's so easy.
Right. And it's like, it's a job, just like you described. You might have to sit there for 30 minutes while they go do other business. Exactly. And then, okay, we need you hard now.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, so you're still hard, right? And it's like, well, no, I'm sitting here in a room by myself. It's like I've got nothing stimulating me. I'm just here. I just want my check.
Yeah,
Might be
and
thinking about dinner later. Like we're on set for work usually.
yeah, I know there's at least a couple of different interviews that I saw with male talent, and they were talking about, if they woke up and didn't have a really good morning, so they're already tired, and
I
then
know. Just going into set with that energy is already hard enough.
yep, and then you're gonna meet, like you said, you're gonna meet a co-star that maybe you haven't worked with before, and maybe you're not
Yeah.
quite into her type, and vice versa,
Might
or
not be
whatnot.
compatible, and that's okay. I mean, that
Yep.
just is what happens with work. It's not a dating game. We don't get to choose who we're on set with. I don't cast.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. So we're here, we're getting paid to do a job. Hopefully
Yes,
it's going to be, the best scene that we can possibly make. That's what our goal is.
100%. Work together as best as we can as a team.
Yeah, and then sometimes, like you just said, that okay, we got to go do this stuff, and you have to take a break, or maybe you get a text or a phone call or something that kind of puts you in a sour mood.
Right,
So that
whatever it may be, camera battery died. It's always something.
and you have to kind of like block that out and kind of get right in the right frame of mind and get back to work and
Yes.
finish the scene, and then go on your way. But I know that somebody was talking about, especially when they're doing a lot of features, that could be like a 12-hour day that you're
Oh,
there.
easily multiple days. Yeah. I mean, even for some of these crazier, where they're doing more special effects makeups, like I was looking at like the Parasited and like those are very interesting, or like the alien ones. It's like I've heard those girls are on set for 3, 4, 5 hours just doing the makeup for that before they're even starting to shoot the scene. It's like, oh man, you're already there for a full shift before you're even filming, and you got to film now. It's not like you can take off the makeup and go home.
Yeah, no, that's a really good example of any of the things that look like, the tentacle porn, the hentai
Yep,
type of
all of that.
things.
All of
Yeah.
those more not like futuristic, but just kind of more fantasy level stuff.
Yeah, and even if we're not doing that type of work, I'm thinking about somebody else that I interviewed from the industry, and her first scene, I think she was doing fan creations content
Yeah.
before she got into studio work, but her first scene was a VR scene.
Oh no.
Yeah, and she's like, so the guy,
That's a
Mark,
long day.
yeah, the guy's got the camera on his head, so he can't really move too
He
much,
can't
and
do much. He can't talk. He really can't move too much. There's not very many positions. Yes, the girl's doing primarily all the work in VR scenes.
that's exactly what she said. She said, the scene was marked, it was maybe about 50 minutes to an hour of me doing all the work.
Yep.
And that was, again, her first impression of this industry. And she's like, I don't know if I'm cut out for porn.
No. It's some of these days on set, I'm like, man, that was a workout. Like like the next day, like it's like you were in the gym, your legs are like a little bit sore, your arm, like even just the other day, I was doing reverse cowgirl, and I had my arms up on the back of the couch and like just doing that like over and over again. All of a sudden that next morning I felt it. I could just feel that in the muscles there. It's a workout. It's very strenuous on your body.
Yeah, see, and that makes perfect sense, because if you're doing that multiple times, and maybe if they have to say cut and then you got to do it again,
Right.
yeah, that is not easy for anybody.
No, not at all. And usually we're not using all of the footage either. They're like, okay, we want 5 minutes of this, and we want 10 minutes of this, and this, and this, and this. And then I will go back and I'll like watch the videos, and I'm like, oh man, this part didn't make it in the video. But they do that because you want to play it safe, because obviously you'd rather want to have extra footage than not enough. So it makes sense, but
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm thinking about that gal that did the VR scene. She said, well, then Mark, I did a regular scene after that. And that's, oh, this is fine. I can handle this kind of
yep,
thing.
exactly. Man, a VR scene on your first go around. I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine, because I remember my first VR scene. Yeah, just kind of figuring out where your body needs to be in the view, and like how close you can be to the camera, because it's totally different than a regular camera. It's totally different. So yeah, figuring out that was totally weird for my first time.
I remember that gal was talking about the VR scene. In her head, she's thinking, man, this is like the sex Olympics or something. I don't know if I can do this.
Yes, like running through all these different obstacles, like it's a triathlon. It's like, okay, you got to do this, and then you got to do this, and then also do this, but make sure you like don't turn around too much. It's like, oh my gosh, like okay, and also remember to breathe.
Yeah,
I
and
swear.
and maybe you have some of these stories. I know somebody else had told me that they had to do a sex scene in a closet, and
Yes, I shot in a closet for Misa X.
okay,
Yes, we did the whole scene in the closet.
this particular guest talked about how not only was it uncomfortable for the closet that she was in with her partner, but then they had to turn off. Maybe this is common. They had to turn off the AC on set
Yep,
because of the
that's every
noise.
shoot. Every
Okay.
shoot, we turn off the AC because it picks up in the audio.
All right. So yeah, so she was talking about I'm already uncomfortable in this tiny closet that we're trying to do this scene in, and then it got really hot because
Yes.
there's no AC, and then something happened with the director who like wanted to switch something, so we had to stop for like 20 minutes. And
100%. I know exactly what she's talking about. And then something that you also don't think about, that AC's off, but you know what's on? Those panel lights. And
oh,
you have all of that heat just getting sucked right in, and it gets steamy quick. Like I've shot outdoors in Miami. I did a bang shoot that was in like one of those rental garages, like those car shops. I did a shoot for Bang, and it was like the roadside service, I think is what they call their channel. And that was insane. We were on the cement floor of like a garage, and then it was like midsummer in Miami. It was terrible. Every time we stopped, we turned back on the AC and had to cool down the whole building, pause and take a break, and then film another part, cool down the building, film another part. It was a process.
wow. See,
Yeah.
these are the things that like for people that watch my channel that maybe aren't familiar with all the things that go into making a scene.
Right.
It's just like any other regular non-porn film that you watch. There's a lot of freaking work
100%.
that
And
goes in.
it's so funny because I will watch movies now, and I've been on set enough now, and everyone is like this in the industry because I've talked to other people and directors about this, and they say the same thing. I will catch mistakes that movies have made, or I will see little things in movies where I'm like, wait, that should have been done this way, or like I can catch in like this glare that I can see the camera lens, or I like just little things like that where it's like, oh, they didn't mean to have that in there. And then same thing with porn. I understand certain things that happen in porn now that maybe the common consumer wouldn't notice. So I might be watching porn to get off myself, and it's like, oh man, I'm sitting here critiquing it like it's work now, and I can't even get out of my head to get my own because I'm just like, oh man, should have done it that way. They should have done this. Da, 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 da. And it's like, I guess I'm not watching porn today.
See, that's even like so I have a music background, and so
Yep.
when I go to
I'm sure
concerts,
you feel
sometimes
the same way with music.
I was going to say exactly. I'll be at a concert tomorrow night that I'm looking forward to. I've never seen this band live, but I'll be photographing and reviewing them. But that musician part of me is like, oh man, you just f that part up, or you did this,
I
or
hate.
and
I hate it.
I try to block that out. Just like when you're talking
Yep.
about if you're trying to enjoy yourself with a scene, you're like, oh wait a minute, and it kind of takes you out of it.
Yep. That's 100% what it is. It like shifts you out of reality. It's like, no, 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 no. Just relax, enjoy it. Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yep, and that's what I'll be telling myself that tomorrow.
No, for sure, for sure.
Come on,
No, I
guys.
feel your pain there.
You're really good on the YouTube videos I watched.
Yeah, right.
What happened?
Oh,
But
I swear.
we'll see. And this is also kind of another good segue about. I understand you have a real interest in music, but maybe it was at EDM festivals or.
Yes, I go to a lot of music festivals. EDM and rap is my big thing. I'm actually, if any of my fans out there, I'll be at Rolling Loud. So keep an eye out for me if you want to snap a picture. I'll be at Rolling Loud Orlando. I go every single year to Rolling Loud Miami, and they're doing it in Orlando this year. So that will be here in just a couple weeks, actually. But yes, I'm very in tune with music. Music and animals outside of porn are my passion. So I actually do like a lot of dog training and stuff like that. Competing with dogs is what I have my background on. And then alongside of that, I love taking my extra money and my extra free time and just traveling around the United States for music festivals. Every Friday, you will catch me immediately at like 12:01 a.m. on the dot, going on Apple Music and seeing the new Music Friday and the new in hip hop and who's got the albums out and all of that. I stay very up to date on like underground stuff too. So I'm very engulfed in the music industry.
That's okay. So that begs the question, do you have a music background at all?
I Not enough. Not one that I took professionally. I took piano for a few years, so I know how to play the piano, and I've done recitals and stuff like that. And then I also was like in school in band. I was just one of the
Okay.
little band nerds. I was the first trumpet, so I was like the lead trumpet person. So I've done like the little marching bands and all that little fun stuff. But other than that, no, I never pursued it as like a career or anything. Just more of a passion and just something to enjoy in my free time.
Okay, and I just thought about it. Aren't there some really big EDM festivals in Vegas?
Yes, EDC Las Vegas. That's another one that's coming up because it all falls in together right now. So it's going to be Rolling Loud Orlando. Then I'm supposed to be going to XBiz Miami from there. I'll be shooting some scenes while I'm out there also. And then I'm supposed to be going back for EDC Las Vegas right after that. Will I have the energy levels for it? We're playing it by ear right now. I would love to take myself out there, but we'll see how the first two parts of the trip, how excited I am for it then. But I've been before. I've been there at EDC Orlando, a lot of the raves, just in the clubs and stuff like that. LA's got a bunch. Hard Summer I've been out to. Just all of those, and they're really, really fun.
Okay, I know some people. I am not in that world of EDM, but I have some friends that are, and they go down to Vegas every year.
Nice.
I think we still have the big one up here at the Gorge, which is a multi-day thing, a big EDM festival
Yes,
out
at
here.
the board, that would be Beyond Wonderland.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
Beyond Wonderland is that one over there. Yeah, because you said you're over in Washington. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just like I remember seeing pictures of these things way back when. I'm like, look at the attendance at these festivals. I mean, it's huge.
Oh, they're massive. It's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people that attend these.
Yeah, and it's just like, and they're all doing the same things in terms of their outfits and their colors and everything
It's
else.
beautiful. The fashion, and that's a huge thing that I really like with the rave culture in itself is like that plur. You know what I mean? The peace, love, unity, respect. And I can show up in any outfit I want and no one's gonna take a second glance at me. I can walk into EDC wearing pasties and a little thong and high like platform boots, and I can have the time of my life and nothing bad is gonna happen. I can just express myself the way that I want to express myself. The love that like are in these festivals too. The amount of just like, I love your outfit. I love your shirt. You look so good. Just like passing by for random strangers that you never see again. You can't find that anywhere else. You're never going to find that like place of acceptance anywhere else and lack of judgment.
That's an interesting point. With all the different, I've been going to music, concerts and festivals since I was 9 years old. That all of them, depending on the genre, have certain kinds of stereotypes about them, and sometimes, unfortunately, those stereotypes are true.
Yes, as any stereotype goes.
Yeah, but when you think about like what place have I been to where it was really, really accepting, and there wasn't judgment going on, that's a hard one for me to pick out because I haven't been to an EDM thing. So that's probably why. Closest thing would have been like Odessa, that I've covered them.
Yes, Odessa for sure. I could see you having that type of experience there because yes, I will say the love and connection at Rolling Loud with music and hip hop and all that aggressiveness, not the same as EDC. I'm telling you, I can go into a crowd at Rolling Loud and I might get pushed over a couple times, not on purpose. People are just going crazy and they don't have plur in different music cultures. Plur is more EDM and the house and all those subcultures and stuff like that, as where when you get into the other mainstream stuff where it's like maybe just like a country music festival or like a rock or or not EDM, hip hop and just like stuff like that, that's not as like prevalent. in those types of cultures, unfortunately. But thankfully, in the EDM and a lot of the Insomniac events, especially, you will find that there. Or Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is a huge one that is really big into that too.
Well, that's good information for me to know if I ever
No,
find
of course. Of course. The crowds and the energies are definitely different for every music artist too. You know what I mean? I don't know if like people really know rap or anything, but like Ken Carson or like Playboy Cardi, well, that's gonna drive a whole different fan base than like if you look at like Don Toliver or someone that's maybe more chill rap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, oh, excuse me, I have sirens outside. So it just brings a different crowd with the energy that you bring in the music.
Yeah, see, and that part's definitely true because I grew up as a metalhead, so certain
There you
bands,
go.
yeah, bring it can be like violent fun, and some of them are like violent
Yes.
dangerous.
Yes. I'm trying to think of what the mosh pit thing is where like they like separate and then they like around it. Like, yeah, that's like what I'm picturing. But yeah, just every type of music's got like a different culture along with it.
It's the wall of death.
Yes, the wall of death. Yes. Yes, that's immediately what I think of. I'm like, oh, because I'll hear like a lot of the like hard style or they do more of the harder rock, like Sullivan King for EDM.
Mm.
He would be one that would have a crowd that's more into like that heavier metal stuff. Because that's just like
Yeah.
the type of EDM he does.
Yeah, like you said, different artists within the same genre. It's going to be different crowds and different feels, and even again, the one that I'm going to be at tomorrow night, it should be pretty crazy. It should be, especially with a sold out show, and I'm looking forward to that energy. But I'll be off on the sides. I won't be.
That's awesome. No, it sounds like a good experience for sure.
Yeah, I let all the young people have fun. I used to do that kind of thing, but not now.
Oh no, I was able to do it my first year, but I don't know. I look back at it now and I'm like, man, it really hasn't been that long. I'm like, what has changed? I'm like, am I just weaker? Are y'all getting stronger? I'm like, man, I used to be able to be in the little mosh pits and I'm only 5'2", like 120 pounds. So I'm not very big compared to like a lot of these bigger men that are in these mosh pits. But my first year I got along just fine. But after that, no, I just, every year I find myself having to scoot just a smidge back, just a smidge further back. It's just getting crazy by the rail.
Yeah, well, maybe that'll change for you, or maybe it won't.
I know. Maybe I need to get back in the gym, get in the CrossFit, get ready. I just got to get the DJ passes. I gotta,
do a lot more reverse cowgirl scenes or something.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot some more porn, and maybe I'll end up. We'll end up doing something.
That would be funny. You shoot.
Sure.
I'm shooting more scenes. Why are you shooting more scenes? Because you need more money? No, because I want to be ready for that mosh pit.
No, exactly. I really want to like be able to like just handle myself.
Oh my gosh. And Mackenzie, as we have like another 10 minutes or so, and you mentioned something that I definitely want to hear more about because of your love of dogs and dog training.
Yeah.
And so did this start on the farm when you were with your family, or where did this all kind of transpire?
Yes. So this started back when I was younger. This started back when I was in the Midwest, and I ended up getting from a rescue this cute little adorable 8-week-old beagle that was born in rescue, and they were looking for homes, and we happened to apply for it because I was looking for a dog that I could start taking to obedience classes. I did like gymnastics and cross country as a kid, but I wasn't really super into like those competitive sports like that. Like I like doing like workout stuff, but I kind of like the solo pace stuff. So being able to go and have an activity to do that wasn't necessarily having a sports or a basketball game every single like Friday night or whatever, it was really nice for me. And I actually, this is going to sound so funny, I had a lot of performance anxiety when I was a kid. So if I was out on the court or I was out on the field, I got really nervous of people looking at me. To this day, I don't know what changed because now I have hundreds of thousands and millions of people looking at me naked online. But at that time, when I was younger, I was really nervous. So being able to kind of put that attention on a dog instead. And oh, the judge isn't really judging me. The judge is judging the dog. I just have to train the dog to do the behaviors and just kind of be there by the side and give the commands. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the pressure is on the dog. So that really helped me kind of like get out of my shell there too. But yes, just the stuff that you see on TV with Westminster, AKC, the obstacle courses, the scenting, all of that. That's what I did. I took my dog to classes every single week. I learned how to train dogs. I started competing with her in a kennel club that I had locally there. And when I graduated school, I ended up deciding, I was like, what's the best way to make money? Doing something that you're already passionate about. So I just started training other people's dogs and I made a whole new business out of it. So I can train competition dogs is where my heart is, and that's where I started. Obviously, I went to a school and I got certified for training some other different types of stuff. So I do therapy dogs, I do police canines, I can do service dogs, like the scent detection, tracking. I have a bite work dog personally right now, Gideon. He's my little like love and protector. He's a full bred German Shepherd, working line German Shepherd, bicolored. He's awesome, just like solid black with little brown toes. And he's my bite work dog. So now I take him out when I'm in Vegas to keep me safe. So I mean, it just really has like kind of came full circle along with everything with the dog training. I know I'm like kind of rambling on with that, but yeah, it really just took off with getting this little rescue beagle, meeting an amazing group of friends, having like kind of the focus beyond that and being able to work through my own public anxiety and just flourishing from that. Having the business, not having to work for another person is huge outside of school. I was really lucky. I got really lucky putting in that work.
Wow, so that's amazing, the work that you've done and the different types of training that you do.
Yes, for sure.
And also, like you said, it became full circle. How what you were like and what you're like now, and then with the training and having a dog like for safety in Vegas or some other kind of things.
Yes,
How
of course.
that's so weird.
Well, and
How it
even
worked out.
now, I'll go on set. People will mention something about their dogs. I'll give them free advice. I'll give them advice, or I might even, oh, I'm looking for a dog sitter. Perfect. I would love to watch your pet. Who's better to watch your pet than another person in the industry? I understand the chaotic schedules, and I also understand the care and needs of a dog because I had that business mindset. I mean, I was competing with dogs for, let's see, I competed for 11 years. I competed for 11 years and I had my business open for 4. It's still technically open, but I'm not actively taking clients. It's still there. If people wanted to dig for it, they could technically find it.
Besides your German Shepherd, how many dogs do you have total?
I have 3 dogs. I used to have a Belgian Malinois. She's not with us anymore. I actually trained her and rehomed her to another place so that she could continue working there. She was just more of a project dog that I used to certify through my school. So she wasn't always going to forever be my pet. But actively right now, I have the German Shepherd and then I have 2 Cocker Spaniels that are more pet level house dogs. They have the basic obedience where, you know, they'll walk next to your side, they'll do their sit down stays, they're not going to run away out the door, like they're off leash trained. So I can take them out on hikes and take them off leash and they can go run around, they're not going to run away. Just kind of your basic pet level stuff like that, but they're not doing bite work. I didn't teach them tracking, I didn't teach them anything like that. They're not a working line breed. Technically I could have taught them that. It's just I wanted them to be kind of I call them my couch dogs. I call them like my whatever dogs. If I want to go out and go on a hike, those 2 little cockers, man, they can hike. They can go 8+ miles and they'll keep up. But if I'm just feeling so freaking tired after a scene and I just want to crash on the couch for a few days and just be a couch potato, they're more than happy with that too. More than happy. As where the German Shepherd will start to pace and wonder, well, why aren't we doing something? So yes, the different drives. But yes, I have the 2 Cocker Spaniels, the German Shepherd. And I also have, my fans know, I have a massive English Lop rabbit. So if I hold him up, he's actually the size of like my whole torso. He's a 15-pound rabbit. Think of like those county fair rabbits you see with the massive long ears.
Hmm.
That's the type of rabbit he is. So I got a little zoo.
Now, just my random brain being the way
Of
it
course.
is, have you ever had any ideas with any of like, it'd probably be more like on your fan site creations that, have you, your passions with animals, has that ever come into it? I don't know, like you're in a barn from your childhood kind of a thing for a scene, or you got the animals walking by, your dog going by, just as like almost like a prop for content or anything?
Not for like content in that sense. I thought about doing like, because safe for work content is obviously how we have to promote and get new fans pushing over. So I thought about like starting like a dog mom page on Instagram and just doing like relatable dog mom reels and stuff like that, just to kind of be like more of a real person online and show more of my life than just porn. So I'm a real person. I've got passions that aren't just sex. By something kind of that goes back with my childhood that I do want to put into a scene though is the growing up on a farm and that farmer's daughter, like girl next door. That I would love to do. I would love to get on a set and do like a little pitchfork, the cute little like crop top with the Daisy Dukes and the boots. Like I would love to do a scene like that. Would be my goal, just to kind of go back to my roots.
Makes perfect sense.
100%. 100%. Just like the farmer's daughter. Like I think that would be really good. And I think we could do like it would be fun to almost do like a feature film with it, where it's like literally like I would love to work with a director where as long as like I don't even get paid a rate or whatever, it's almost like a trade of services. So it's like I will make this thing with you, but I want it to be our creative idea together. Like I have this idea, you have the equipment and like the brain skill when it comes to lighting and different things that maybe I don't look at as closely as like a director would, just because they have more experience with it. That's like to bring that passion project to life. So that's on the back burner. That's been there for a while. So we'll get there eventually. But yes, I want it to be like a very like slutty farmer's daughter's life thing where there's maybe like 3 or 4 scenes in like the whole DVD.
It sounds good. It really does.
For sure. For sure. I love the parody ones too. I always love to see like the parody films come up. So like I just want to have a fun DVD that I can produce and just like that's my passion project. You know what I mean? That's my little baby.
Yeah, and you also mentioned like if you're going to go hiking with your Cocker Spaniels and that type of thing.
Yes.
There is another, and you talked about maybe doing like mom dog reels. And there is another talent that I've interviewed a couple times, and her whole YouTube channel is nothing about her. It's her basically hiking around the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A traveling thing. Okay.
Yeah, and she, and of course, so like if she's going to go around the U.S. and when she's there, and I'm sure you do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to go film this hike, but then I'm also going to, do some collaborations with people for my adult stuff.
Of course, get another bigger fan base. Yeah, cross space.
Yeah, and I think some people don't even know that she's got these 2 worlds.
Yeah. Oh, that's so smart. That is so smart. And I do see people do that with the yoga. I've been noticing a lot of people like doing the yoga. That's been kind of like the fitness channels or stuff like that on YouTube. And they're like, oh, by the way, I have this other link, but I have this.
Yeah, and again,
So no, that would be really smart to just incorporate it in that way too.
With your business sense and also with you having a real distinct skill as a dog trainer, that could be like its own thing, really, as another way to.
100%. I have always said, people are like, the biggest thing that like the haters of the industry will say is like, oh, well, you can't do porn forever, da 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 da. And it's like, yeah, well, my porn will always live on. Like I like stay my age in my videos, but also, well, even if I don't, I'll just go back to my dog training because at this point I have so much word of mouth in the industry and with my other business already and with a clientele base in itself, I can just pick that up whenever I want. And now I have even more clients because I have people that are traveling all the time in the industry that are coming to me. So I can just be the industry dog trainer. Is like just kind of the ultimate like what I could like be a backup plan if things like if I for some reason don't want to do it anymore as I get older. But No, that's always been kind of the goal too, is using porn to fund the dog business and my life.
See, and there's a perfect example of your brain working as a businesswoman.
No, 100%. You always have to have a backup plan. You can't have just one stream of income. There's not like, I can't imagine there's like a single millionaire out there that only has technically one stream of income. The passive income's huge, having like your paid sites that are maybe just running in the background, just like pretty much like a clip site for sale, where it's just like a menu where they're just buying stuff. Like ManyVids is how I use that. So it's very much like I upload and I forget about it. So that's a really quick way to like make money. I just have people buy videos off of there, and there's no technically chatting that I have to do. So yeah, just being able to have all of that extra backup income to pick up whenever I want.
You know what? And maybe this is a whole other side note, but because of what you just said and have said the last hour, have you ever thought about doing any kind of consultations with other folks in the industry about being like money savvy and business savvy with their work?
I haven't thought about that. Now that's kind of, and it's weird because it's how seriously would people take me, because I did find that in my own business. I am a very young person. I would have some clients that wouldn't take my advice for dog training. A few months later, they come back to me. I'm sorry. Yes, I should have done this, da 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 da. Because there's just kind of this, I don't know if it's like a stereotype, but it's just like, oh, I'm older than you, so I must know more and I must be more knowledgeable than you. And it's like, yeah, you might be in some areas, but in other areas, you might not be. It is totally okay if there's someone younger than you that can educate you on something that you might not be as knowledgeable about. So I don't know if people would be open to like the business stuff. I do help run some girls like Instagram pages and socials and stuff like that, and kind of help behind the scenes there. I wouldn't say I'm really like giving advice or anything, but that is kind of something interesting that I could phase into if I really wanted to, is some sort of like financial advice with that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. The credibility though would be figuring out how to prove credibility would be kind of the biggest thing though.
Well, it could be something that you percolate on, and then as you get more and more things underneath your belt, that you be able to kind of create that business plan of how you sell it to somebody. And again, like for people that watch any of my interviews, I never know exactly what my guest is going to be like. I can do all my research and everything else, and then they don't know what I'm going to be like as an interviewer. But just listening to you, I'm like, I could see you like giving, at some hotel or whatever, maybe something more fun like at a club, that you've got, 30 people from the industry, and maybe they're new, or maybe they've actually been in the industry for a while, but they're not good with their money. They're not good with their investments. They're not good with
whatever
anything.
It may be.
Yeah. And they're like, well, you've been in, you know what we go through, what it's like being in this industry. And then you have this other piece that you brought to it. How do I get that piece too? And so that could be, you've got lots of backup things, I think.
No, for sure. And now we're just spitballing here. At that point, we could almost loop back to where we're talking with Exotica. And I think the best way to get into it would be contacting, what is it, Dan with Exotica? Anyways, contacting a higher up with Exotica and getting myself as a panel, like a panelist, being up there as like business in sex work, like the business side of sex work, and being up there as a panelist for people to ask questions to would probably be the best start, just to get like people getting eyes on me and then being like, oh, she actually has some idea like what she's talking about. Maybe I should go like pick her brain a little bit more.
Yep. See, there's another great segue, great idea about getting onto a panel. So
100%. That would be a great way to kind of spark that up and see if there's any traction with that too.
Yeah. Mackenzie, as we get close to winding this down, because I see we're past our time.
Oh, no worries at all. No worries. Like I said, I'm a yapper. I love to talk. I love to talk.
And as an interviewer, I love that type of person, because
it makes things so easy.
The alternative is horrible when someone doesn't want to talk.
I've had that where you're just digging it out of them, and it's like, whew, this is gonna be a day.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a long hour.
I'm always like, and I've been on the other side. I've been interviewed myself, and I'm always like, don't you want to talk? Isn't that why you're here, to promote yourself and what you do? And I understand, like, if you're introverted and kind of quiet, but eventually you can kind of warm up and kind of feel more talkative as the interview goes on. And some people, man, It's just like, what do I have to do? I'm pulling everything out of my bag of tricks and none of it's working.
No,
So,
literally, it's terrible.
but yeah, you've been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
So my last thing though is that when we talk about the industry and your work in it, and because I cover, as I mentioned to you before we went live, I cover so many different artistic areas.
Of course.
There's going to be some people that watch this and they're going to be like, "Oh, Mark, I didn't know you interviewed those kind of people."
Right, that type of industry, that side of the entertainment, more
Yeah,
taboo.
yeah. And even though I've done, I don't know, 20 of them, or don't know how many interviews
Right.
I've done, but from your standpoint, just for yourself, what would you say to those detractors about being a sex worker and working in the industry?
I would say that it's not as crazy and as taboo as you think. After this interview, yeah, I made it sound crazy and I made it sound chaotic, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it's a job that I'm clocking into no different than the same way you are. At the same day, like type of way, I'm still paying taxes. I'm still running a job the way that you would run your job. I'm still having to hold myself accountable to get up and make sure I'm at my scenes on time. I mean, it's the same. Like the judgment's definitely like completely unneeded, and people should for sure be open to people in the industry and that type of more taboo media, even if you're maybe not as accepting to it. It really isn't that scary. It doesn't have to be scary. More intimate parts of our lives don't have to be scary to kind of open up to each other, and it really is nice for communication.
Very, very well said. I can tell you that some of the folks I've watched some of my other interviews with adult folks have actually learned a lot. And that's why I said, well, that's good.
100%.
I'm glad.
100%. We might be a little quick to judge on things that we don't understand, and that's totally okay. And I completely understand that. I love to be one to educate. I would love to answer any questions. I don't get offended by judgment at all. So if you have questions and you're wondering how the heck does this happen, and man, that's really weird. Why do you do that? Throw the questions at me, guys. Hit me up in my DMs because I will gladly answer them and tell you all the craziness and debunk any myths that you may have. I'm just here to give you guys a real look into the industry and just to have overall fun with my jobs.
Awesome. Well, Mackenzie, I'm going to turn the floor over to you for this last part. What do you
For
have
sure.
coming up? What do you want to plug? Where can people go?
You guys can go ahead. All my socials are going to be at Real Mackenzie Mae. That's MCKENZIEMAE. That's going to be Twitter, Instagram, not too much on TikTok. That's going to be my paid sites, all that stuff. My stuff is no PPV. Go ahead, check it out. Exotica, Minneapolis. If you'll be there, so will I. Otherwise, keep an eye on my Twitter for any new mainstream scenes that I'll be retweeting.
Awesome. Mackenzie, it was truly a pleasure. I would have you back in a heartbeat for another live stream.
I would love that. It was really great chatting with you.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and have a great time down in Florida and New York eventually. And
Thank you so much.
And on your way back to Las Vegas.
Awesome. Hey, I'm a traveler. We'll get home eventually.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Have a good night over there.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Have a great night.
You too.